Hi, this is Habiibah Musana and welcome to Empowered to Be Great. This is such a wonderful day that we are sharing and building this platform and community that empowers each other. So we want to let you know that if it is your first time to watch us today or to be here today, please don't just be a guest, be family by subscribing to this channel and clicking the notification button so that you know when we release a new episode. Today, I want for us to discuss something that is very common and so many people are dealing with, and that is the invisible wounds. The invisible wounds that you cannot see. Yes, there are those wounds that you can see, that you can take to the hospital and the doctor dresses them, put bandage on or put some medication, and then the wound heals. But there are those wounds that we deal with inside that nobody else can see but ourselves. That is anxiety, that is pain, that is emotional pain, that is psychological pain, that is abandonment issues, that is so many different things, that is depression, that is grief. Grief is not tangible. It is something that you sometimes cannot even explain. Anxiety is not even tangible. It is something that you cannot explain, but it is a wound. And anybody who has that or who is dealing with something like that would work so hard to cover up, not to see the pain. We walk around people and we deal with people. We love people every day. We hang out with people every day, but we don't know that they are fighting some invisible wounds that nobody else can see. And today I want to just share a few tips on how you can deal with something like that. I want you to know that there is hope. I want you to know that healing is for you. And I want you to know that there is going to come a time where you do not feel these feelings of pain and hurt and brokenness. So that is the encouragement I want to give you today. And one of the first things that I want to tell you that you can do before you even go through any other steps is acknowledging that you are in pain, acknowledging that there is a certain level of emotional pain that you are dealing with, acknowledging that when you were growing up, something happened to you or they did something to you that has left you broken all your life. And the brokenness shows up in your relationships. The brokenness shows up in how you treat yourself and how you treat other people. The brokenness shows up in how you speak, how you relate with other people, how you do your job well or not well. So when you acknowledge that I have something that is lacking in me, that I have that pain that I cannot even explain, and you acknowledge that this is something that I need to work on, that I need to deal with, that is when the journey of healing starts. You have to be able to give yourself some level of understanding and know that whatever happened to me has affected me. And if I don't acknowledge it, I'm not going to be able to get over it. So when you are dealing with anxiety, you have to go deeper into your life and say, okay, now do some self-reflection and ask yourself, why am I anxious? Why am I triggered? Why am I feeling depressed in certain situations? Why am I feeling broken? Why am I showing up as when I feel like there's a certain sense of abandonment that is around me? Why do I have to go off when maybe I feel like I am triggered by some certain statements? That is what I'm saying, that when you acknowledge and you ask yourself these questions, now you have started the journey of understanding what is happening to you, the journey of your healing. I want to encourage you that it is possible to heal that pain. It is possible to get over the grief. It is possible for you to get over the anxiety and the depression. I know sometimes it might feel like, so much stuff has happened to me and there's nothing I can do. I'm I'm like a gone case, I'm a lost case, nobody can help me. But I want to let you know that that is not something that I agree with, because I believe that there is always going to be healing. It doesn't matter what. For me, I believe in God, and I believe in the power of healing, that even when God can heal so many other diseases, God can also heal those invisible wounds. I believe that no matter what we do, no matter how much pain that we are in, we deserve to be healed. So acknowledge the wounds, acknowledge the pain, and then start that journey of healing. Number 2, I always tell people to seek professional help. But even before you seek professional help, develop a relationship with God. Even before the professionals come in, you have to develop a relationship with God. I don't know how I can live my life without having a relationship with God, because I know there are certain things that professionals can do, but there are certain places that only God can get to, only God can touch. There's a certain level of pain that even therapy has not been able to heal. But when I pray and I ask God to get me into those places of healing, those things that I wouldn't even tell anybody, even the closest friend, I know that God sees those broken pieces of me. I know that God sees that brokenness, and I know He can touch it and heal it. In addition to seeking professional help, I need you to seek the presence of God and create a relationship, develop a relationship with God, because I believe it is possible. There is a scripture in the book of Psalms 147 verse 3, it says, He heals the brokenhearted and binds up the invisible wounds. That He heals the broken heart, that your broken heart, your invisible wound, God is able to heal it. And even the pain that you are talking about, He is able to heal it. He's even the one who is going to use the professionals, the therapists, to help you through that process. So I need you to seek professional help. I need you to talk to somebody. In addition to talking to God, talk to somebody. Call them, because for them, they are more equipped to help us deal with these situations. I know there are certain ethnicities where therapy is like, is a taboo. But I believe that everybody needs a certain level of therapy, because there are certain things that we cannot handle by ourselves. No matter how strong we are, no matter how resilient we are, there are certain things where we have to need some help from somebody else who knows better than us. So seek professional help and give yourself a chance to be supported by a group of people that know exactly what they are doing. Give yourself a chance to be supported by a village. Maybe you're not going to talk to a person, to a professional person, to a psychologist. Maybe you can talk to your friend. But also sometimes it's tough, because we fear that when we expose ourselves and we pour our heart and pain to people, they use it against us. That's why, for me, what I do is, if I don't seek professional help, I seek the presence of God. And I tell Him everything that I need to tell Him, because I know He's not going to judge me. I know He's not going to do anything but help me and heal me. So in addition to that, because I know there are certain people who have been hurt by friends, they've been hurt by family members. I know of a person who was sexually abused when they were younger, and then when they decided to open up to the family members, instead of them being supported, they were just ostracized. And I know that is a pain that person carries even up to now. But what I want to encourage you, that you can find somebody who is going to help you. You can find somebody who can help you deal with your pain. They give you the tools that you need to deal with that invisible wound that you're dealing with. The other thing that I want you to know, that there is, we blame ourselves so much by what has happened to us that we do not give ourselves a chance to be forgiven or forgive ourselves. So be compassionate to yourself. Yes, I know you are sad. Yes, I know you are in a lot of pain, because there are so many people that continuously make bad decisions because of what they've been through, because they feel like they are not worthy of being loved, because they feel like they are so broken, nobody can even love them the way they are. So they do not show themselves compassion. But one of the things that you can do for yourself is give yourself grace and show yourself compassion. Tell yourself, you know what? There's something that happened to you, but you deserve to be loved. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be healed. You deserve to see the world in a whole new, different, beautiful, brighter light. I encourage you to show yourself compassion. Just encourage yourself. You know, sometimes we don't have people to encourage us, so you can encourage yourself. It is okay to encourage yourself, to look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, you know what? You might have gone through all this pain, but you are still standing. You are still standing. Support yourself by being compassionate to yourself. Give yourself that grace that you need. The healing is starting when you do that. Instead of blaming yourself for what they did to you, blaming yourself for how they were never able to show up, or maybe how you were never able to show up for yourself. There are certain people who are, for example, abused and continue to blame themselves for the abuse because they sustained that abuse. You are not supposed to blame yourself, blame the abuser. You are not the culprit in this case, no, somebody else. So give yourself the grace and the compassion that you need to move on. It is possible for you to be healed. I want to encourage you that you can be healed. The other thing that I want to tell you, and it's the last one, it is stay connected. Be connected to a community. When you're going through this pain, it is easy for you to isolate yourself. There are so many people who suffer in silence because they feel like they're going to be judged. I believe that out there, everyone has a person, even if it is one person, who is going to be able to be a confidant as a support system. You might not have a whole village, you might not have a group of maybe 10 friends that are going to support you, but at least you can find someone. So stay connected to people, stay connected with friends, stay connected with family members, because what the enemy wants is for you to isolate yourself. When you are in pain, you isolate yourself. The only thing that you know how to do is you go to work, come back and get into your bed and just stay there and cry. That is what the enemy wants for you. But I know the healing will not start if you isolate yourself. I know when you stay connected with people that love you, that support you, that understand you, they are going to continuously encourage you. They are going to lift you up and make you feel like you are strong and you can beat that anxiety, you can beat that depression, you can beat whatever pain that you're going through. I know there are certain people who feel like, there are certain things people can understand, but you cannot understand because I was abused. Maybe you were abused by the people you trusted. Maybe you were abused by your significant other. Maybe you were emotionally deprived of love when you were growing up. Those things, I know they happen, and I know that is a lot of pain, and I cannot even explain it. You know, we cannot make sense of stuff like that, but I also believe that you need a support system around you. You need people to love you, to show you love, to tell you that you are worthy. You need people that is why we are building this community, because there are certain people who choose not to have friends around them. Maybe the friends betrayed them, so you say, I'm just going to stay in my pain, stay to myself, keep to myself. Nobody else will hurt me, and you are reacting based off of what you've been through. You say, because I was hurt previously, I'm dealing with this pain of abandonment. People left me, I'm not going to allow anyone else in my life. Let me tell you, you can do that but only for so long. Eventually you will feel so lonely. Eventually you will feel so empty. I know there's such a thing as self-care, as people say. Yeah, I want to focus on myself now. I want to do what I want whenever I want. That is a good thing, but community is very important. When you're not just focusing on yourself, but there are other people that are focusing on you. There are other people that are encouraging you. There are other people that are loving you. There are other people that are lifting you up. Believe me, all of us need to be lifted. All of us get to those points where we feel like we want to give up. But because we have a friend, we have a family member, we have somebody that is always telling us, go on, don't give up, you are loved, you are beautiful. Like the Bible said that you are wonderfully and fearfully made. That is what we want to hear. Those words of affirmation. Think about what God thinks about you when He created you. When you are in that deepest pit of pain, think about what God thought. The Bible says that He says, you are the apple of His eye. When you were created, He was thinking, this is the most beautiful thing that I've ever made. So just trust that. If you don't trust the people around you when they tell you you are wonderful, that you deserve love, at least trust the one who created you, who says you deserve all the love. Thank you for listening today. I believe that the healing journey is starting now. And if you're there and you're dealing with these kinds of invisible wounds, please contact us. Our email is in the description box. You can write to me and see how we can help you. I'm not a professional psychologist. I just want to put it out there. But I'm trying to help. And I know there are certain people that have also helped me. So I'm just paying it forward. So write to me, send me an email and tell me what you're thinking and what you're going through. I'll be able to support you because this is a community that is going to be supporting you into your journey of healing, into your journey of being empowered and being great. So thank you so much. I want you to know that I am on social media, and if you can, please go and follow me. I am on Instagram and I am on Facebook and TikTok. My social media handles are there at the bottom of your screen, so you can be able to see whatever is happening with the podcast, with the YouTube channel. We post everything on there, and I always post something that is encouraging. And thank you so much, those of you that have been following me since the last 3 weeks we started. Thank you for the support. I can see it. I read the messages. Thank you for the subscriptions. Continue. Please share this with somebody who needs it. I love you all. I remain Habiibah Musana. God bless you.